This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store Forged Irish Stout. Delighted to be joined with the Omen Spencer Oliver. It's been a while, mate. We ain't caught up in a long time, but here at Croydon Box Park.
You keep saying it's been a while, and I'm sure I've done an interview with you yesterday, the day before.
Ah, mate, no way, no way. Definitely weren't me, mate. Definitely weren't me. How's things, mate? All been good?
Yeah, really good, mate. Really good. Been super busy. As you know, we was out in Poland, come back for a day. We was out in Saudi Arabia. Back now, we're here at Selhurst Park. Can't wait for this build, by the way. You know, not just the main event, but the undercard as well. We'll go through it, but the main event, man, I'm really looking forward to. Like, you know, a rematch from nearly 5 years ago. Both guys now are on totally different journeys. We're going to get a different fight, that is for sure. You know, Chris Billam-Smith is proven. He's tough. He's going to win that world title, which will elevate you to another level. And for Richard Riakporhe, home advantage could be crucial here, you know, because he's gone on a slightly different journey and he's earned his right into that mandatory position, but he's developed, and what he's got out of, you know, those last 7 fights since this fight is that he's found the confidence that he may have been lacking in the past, that self-belief. He's always had the attributes, but maybe not the self-belief, and he's got that now. That makes him a dangerous opponent. But for Billam-Smith, he'll be going, that's fine. Chris is proven, man, like against Masternak last time, you saw when the chips are down, he bites down on his gum shield, he pushes forward, and he never feels sorry for himself. You know, that will to win is insane. He's got that champion's mentality, that mindset, and that may be crucial for him as well. But great fight, man. Looking forward to it.
When you base it off the first fight, when Richard has the win over Chris, how much does that play a factor for like either side, would you say?
Oh, listen, it'll play a huge factor for Richard Riakporhe because he's been there and he's got that victory, but it wasn't like a one-sided fight. So both guys will recognise it's 5 years since then. They've been combined 17 fights undefeated since then. They've been in with some good opponents, former world champions, former world title challengers. Chris Billam-Smith's become a world champion. So there's been a lot gone on since that last fight, so you can't really read too much into it, and I don't think the fighters will either. Look, it was a split decision last time, so I think that the build-up for this one, they've both been very respectful of each other, and the reason they have been, Lou, is because they both know what they're going into. Gladiatorial sport, man, and they both know each other's characters, and they know that it's going to be a war on Saturday night, that is for sure. It's about who wants it most. You know, that will to win, that desire is going to come into play, man. The physicalities are going to, it's not going to be about the physicalities late on in this fight, it's going to be about the psychological side.
Yeah. A good undercard as well. It got a little bit tasty there. Ben Whittaker grabbing the throat of Ezra Anyarinka, and Jack Massey giving Isaac Chamberlain a little slap there as well.
Yeah, I love all that, don't you? Like, you can tell that, you know, reality's kicking in with these. Jack Massey is, you know, and Isaac Chamberlain. Chamberlain's been doing a great job of trying to get in Jack Massey's head the whole time, niggling away. He does that. He's very good at that, Chamberlain. Because they saw a turn in the tide where actually Massey got to Chamberlain a little bit. You know, went with a little slap a little bit. Chamberlain then bit. Fantastic fight, man. It's a tough one to call that, but Jack Massey, speaking to him, he's up for it, mate. He's really up for it, and I think that could potentially steal the show. And moving on to Ben Whittaker, yeah, Ben Whittaker and Ezra. It's mad how Ezra sort of got himself into the position where, you know, gate crashing a press conference has got him the fight. You know, and good luck to him, because boxing is all about opportunity, and he's earned that. You know, he's earned that opportunity by gate crashing a press conference. But guess what, Ben Whittaker, class act, man. I was speaking to Ben and said, we've seen the flashy Ben Whittaker. You know, we've seen the drunken master. What are we going to see this time? And he's like, yeah, you're going to see the surgeon this time. I'm going to go in there and I want to make an example of him. You know, like, so it's good. The tension's built up, obviously. Ben Whittaker throwing a hand, giving him a slap, and you know, or he going at Whittaker. It was good, mate. I like it. I like it. It shows that the guys are up for it and it's edgy. But I think that Ben Whittaker, we're going to see a different side to him here. I think he's going to go out there and I think he's going to try and get rid of this guy. And this guy's going to try and take his opportunity and take it straight to him. Ezra will go straight at him. That could be his undoing.
Whilst we move on, Spencer, I did have to ask you about Fury Usyk 2, the rematch. A lot of opinions surrounding about it. I spoke to Johnny Nelson. He isn't actually too sure that it happens. Your overall opinion of this, I suppose, Fury coming off a loss, do you think this fight happens initially?
Yeah, I think the fight happens, definitely. I think the fight happens. I think that Fury will want to cement that legacy. That's what he's all about now. He's won all the belts. All right, he didn't win the Undisputed, and he probably won't get the chance to box for Undisputed again if he does make it to December the 21st. It's not about that for him. I think it's about like modern eras, legacies, being known as one of the best heavyweights of all time, and to do that, he's got to go back and try and right the wrong of the last contest. He had to try and, you know, get the rematch and turn the result around. So, yeah, I believe it happens. I think that Tyson Fury is that type of guy that he want to go down and be remembered as one of the greats. So he has to go and do that.
In your opinion, can he turn the tide?
Yeah, of course he can. He's got the ability, he's got the attributes to be able to do that. You know, he's got the boxing IQ. I think that he maybe underestimated Oleksandr Usyk and his strength, actually. And you know, not just his boxing ability, but Usyk took the fight straight to him, and I think that took Fury by surprise. It took him 4 or 5 rounds to get into the fight, and that probably cost him the fight. He's got the ability to be able to do it. It's always going to be hard for him. Usyk's proven now with the bigger guys as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough night, but you have to do that, mate, and you've got to respect him for going in there and trying to do that. Like, but I think he can, I think he definitely has the ability to be able to turn it around. Whether he can implement that on a night remains to be seen. But Fury's going to have to get something out of himself that we haven't seen for a few years, you know, and that's going to be interesting.
For sure. Last one from myself, Spencer. You mentioned about being in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, there was a lot of stuff with TalkSPORT Saudi Arabia. So I suppose to be back in Saudi Arabia and I suppose have that relationship and have His Excellency on with Jim White and Simon Jordan, all a good thing as well.
Absolutely. Listen, I think that, you know, it's not that TalkSPORT have never wanted to be out there. They are now back out there, which is a great thing. And I think it's healthy for the sport as well. They hit a different market, a different audience, and you know, it's good for the fighters. It's good for the sport of boxing. So yeah, we're pleased we're back, man. You know, it was a little, you know, there's always a few bumps in the road, but yeah, thankfully now we was out there last time, 5v5, which was a great show. I think we covered it brilliantly, and yeah, move on to the next one.
Absolutely, Spencer. As always, a pleasure to talk to you, mate. Enjoy tomorrow night, mate. Thank you, mate.